Well, I'm Toby.
And I'm Savannah.
And this is Underwater from a Certain Point of View. I like how sometimes movie titles just work with our channel page.
We're underwater from certain...
I mean... But anyways, back to what we're here for. So let's see. Thursday night we saw an actual, little bit of a hidden gem of a movie of Underwater. I went into this movie just expecting, just like some sort of monstrous movie.
Sometimes it's good to go in with no expectations, because you can have really low expectations or really high expectations, but then when you have none, you just don't even know.
We'd seen I think a trailer for this one time during one of the other movies we saw, and I was like, Kristen Stewart's in it. I'll go see it. TJ Miller's in there. Right. Why not? But then you actually see the movie, and it was very impressive. The feeling of claustrophobia you have during it, and I just really enjoyed the camera views. We were, for the most part, in the helmets with them, seeing their point of view. Clearly, we like seeing things from a certain point of view. It was intense the whole time. It didn't require a lot of action or anything. It was intense already. It was, I'm going to say, a little bit more intense than The Grudge was. Yeah,
well, and that's the thing, is that I think that, I don't even know if I would fully put it in the horror genre, more like a horror sci-fi. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's what makes horror better, is when it's tension and anxiety and not freaking jump scares. There were one or two, but the one or two, well. And they actually got you because you're you can't see, so you're trying to look, and your brain probably knows, okay, something's gonna pop out of me because I'm trying so hard to look, but you're trying so hard to look, and then there it is.
I mean, we have other underwater movies. I mean, there's a bunch, but these were...
Little Mermaid.
Yeah, there you go. The kills, or the deaths, not even the kills, the deaths in this movie were just...
out of nowhere.
Just stuff you never... I mean, we've seen before, but it's not stuff you see often. I mean, this is what that movie that came out a long time ago, Apollo 18, which was a horror movie on the other side of the moon. This is what this movie should have been. No, it wasn't this. I'm talking about it. This was Life, but underwater, which was really nice.
Well, yeah, I liked the movie Life a lot. It was interesting. If you've ever seen that, that's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal and
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was good. But
similar concept, we're fucking with things we shouldn't be messing with.
Right, exactly. We were doing something we shouldn't, or we just did something without knowing what we were doing in the end and what we could cause.
And then you cause some damage and you wreak some havoc on the world.
One of my biggest complaints, I think, kind of one of my only complaints of this movie is the opening. Yeah. It was like the Godzilla and other monstrous movies
where it uses news headlines and stuff.
Yeah, and
to tell the
give you a little bit backstory. Yeah, and they always highlight something. You read it, and then you look at a couple of words. But this one, most of the time it was too fast. Yeah, it would.
You couldn't actually read the headlines and stuff in time. That's frustrating because it's highlighting it saying, "Hey, read this." Just kidding.
No, don't read it. You're not gonna.
You don't have time.
No,
you don't have
no time.
There's no time, but she did. No time.
No time. So yeah, that would probably be my biggest complaint about this movie. I wasn't even upset that we don't really see the creatures that often. I mean, we get some good glances at them.
Yeah.
I mean, you really don't even get to see the big one at the end that clearly.
It's kind of nice though. I like not necessarily being able to fully see them. Mm-hmm. I never saw Cloverfield, but I heard that was a big thing that people liked about it, was that you didn't see the monster.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I had images of Aquaman's trench people at this for a little bit there, especially when they were going through the dangling. I was like, oh,
where's Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, we need her to save us right now. We need her. Kristen Stewart does a great job in this movie. I thought TJ Miller was exciting in this movie.
Yeah. I think we can all admit that it's past the point where we can judge Kristen Stewart's acting on Twilight.
Yeah.
We're past that point now. It's done.
Exactly.
It's over with.
Exactly. I think she does a fine job. There's even parts where, I mean, she's the main character, but she takes the back seat when it's needed and somebody else takes that spotlight and shines. TJ Miller does a great job with the comic relief. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't joke. Because
he can get a little
too
much sometimes.
Exactly. And just Hollywood in general can do that too much. Throw too many jokes at us.
Well, and Hollywood in general can typecast people like that, and I feel like T.J. Miller is one of those where they're like, oh, well, we hired T.J. Miller, so we're going to write 1,000 jokes, and we expect you to improvise even more jokes.
Exactly. Do a bunch of jokes.
Just jokes.
I say the best death in this was the first one.
Yeah. You just don't
I guess
see
not.
It coming.
The first one that you actually see. I mean, what a intricate and just crazy death that you never see on screen. Somebody underwater imploding because of the pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, that was insane. I mean, could they have even saved him in the end if the doors hadn't opened?
If it's imploding, is it more like, is it more like?
I feel like you go sucked in and then
I don't want to
explode
know.
out.
I don't want to find out. Let's not do
let's
that.
not worry about that. The editing was fine. It didn't rely on shaky cam to distract us or disorient us.
Which
It
was nice.
actually let us be disoriented by just being underwater, 6.7 miles under the surface of the ocean.
I liked the different elements that they had because it was a lot like that movie Life, but it also had, and it didn't overdo it, but there was a couple points where they have to get through like tight parts of the oil rig initially. There's like a lot of spots where it's caved in and they have to squeeze through, and that reminded me a lot of The Descent, which that's the most uncomfortable part of that movie. Well, I guess besides the monsters, but that's the most uncomfortable part of that movie is them like going like that. Like I can't.
Because you can just feel it. You feel.
I don't want to do that. I don't know. People who can do that, more power to you. I don't want to do that.
One thing I like about like space movies and underwater movies is there's no real sense of direction or time. It's just you have you get spun around on the surface of the Earth. Okay, all right, well, let's see, where's the moon, which way is it kind of going, the sun, whatever you need to do, you can find your bearings in the end. Underwater, I mean, you can't. They had to rely on markers.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, any one of the creatures could have destroyed, and you wouldn't know where the hell you were.
Right.
And that's the same in space. They rely on other things in space to try to figure out where they are. I love that movie gave us that sense. Like, I felt like everything these characters were going through, you feel it a lot more, which I did not expect in this movie.
It's like so stressful, but like in an entertaining way.
Yeah. And the ending was satisfying. It didn't leave it open. It didn't make us question or wonder. It was just, here's what happens in the ending, and I mean, you enjoy it. Oh, there was this big incident. They're just going to cover it up, and then they're going to redo it all. They're just going to start drilling again. It's like, well, I mean, can we learn maybe? Because eventually you are going to piss that thing off, and what if it can come out of the water? I enjoyed it. I would recommend seeing it again. I've been thinking about it for like the past couple days after we've seen it, so
Good.
I mean,
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it in the end. But we finally have our rating scale for movies.
Yay.
Right? Yay! Now you can know what we think about certain movies and pull them together and whatnot.
Now we've given them the ability to skip to the end and just
Skip to the end. See what they said about it right there at the end. So, I mean, with Bantha fodder being the worst you can do in a movie, rather Kiss a Wookie being right above that, better with death sticks is mediocre.
like you should better on death sticks.
Better on death
if you were on
sticks,
something, you
would've
probably
been
enjoyed it a little more.
Right, than the normal person. And then at the second rating, the high ground.
Got the high ground.
He got the high ground because, I mean, that would be... And then to top it off would be rank of master. And that's obviously the best... that's our best rating for a movie. I would give this movie the high ground. I definitely think it deserved that. It earned that in my eyes.
It's not quite granted the rank of master, but
but it's on its way.
It has the high ground for right now.
I think that's the best that this movie could have done with what it was, and I think that in this end it was a good thing that they did exactly what they set out to do, and I was entertained. So, we give it the high ground. Now, until next time, may the films be with you.